recording. Yeah, and if you don't want to be heard singing, you can just mute yourself. If you want to hear yourself singing, I love that. We'll just make a total technical audio, flurry, whatever we do.
Can you repeat the page number, please?
Yeah, it's right before the end of part 2, so it's on page 290. Our Mary Dear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Got it.
And our Oh Little Town of Bethlehem is pretty well known melody. If you know it, that's great. If you don't, just try to follow along. So let's start by just anchoring in to our beautiful hearts. Just come within. Oh, I feel almost giddy today with the love that's right here within my heart. It's just so wonderful to be anchored in love. That is my true nature. Knowing this is the true nature of each and every one in this beautiful circle. So grateful. So very grateful. I just surrender to the beloved presence that we are. We surrender to it now, completely. Beloved presence, I am. Fully take over. Fully take over. And feel yourself grounding into the earth and lifting up to our fifth dimensional etheric temple. This beautiful force field here of the divine feminine heart. It's a pink heart with beautiful golden hues throughout. Just feel yourself stepping into that beautiful heart. Allow yourself to be really present here. Feel the momentum of this force field. We were just talking about it. As we welcome ourselves into this sanctuary, we know that our beloved Cherry, our cherubim, Azira, our Deva, and beloved Ashe, our silent watcher, have been here. And we open up our hearts to welcome beloved Mother Mary. Oh, beloved Archangel Raphael, beloved Archangel Gabriel, beloved Saint Germain, beloved Yeshua, Lord Sananda. We just welcome our own team. Just invite your entire team to join us. As the party has already started, everyone gathering here. So beautiful. So beautiful. And thank you, beloved Archangel Michael and Lady Faith. We ask that you surround this activity of light in divine protection in everything that we do. Thank you for charging this activity with your invincible protection, all powerful and invincible. Thank you, beloved. Thank you so much. And then we open our hearts here to join with our Philadelphia brothers and sisters of yesteryear, knowing that their vibration is still alive and we are just adding to it. And we want to sing to you, beloved Mother Mary. We want you to sing with us. And so we just open up our hearts even more as we sing this song. Let's start right here. And this is our starting note. Our Mary, dear, we love thee so. Now draw us home, love. Make each an arm of thy great self through us love's healing through. Make us thy great forgiveness, thy beauty and thy peace. Expand thy light from heaven's height, till all life finds release. Okay, before we go next verse, let's just take it up a little bit. It's a little bit low.
Oh, it's perfect for an alto.
Yeah. Oh, Mary,
Mary,
our
our
beloved,
beloved one,
our
our
hearts
hearts
are
are
thine.
thine today.
Accept
Accept
us
us
now
now
as
as
we
love we
bow.
bow.
Walk
Walk
through
through
us
us
on
on
earth's
earth's way.
Make us
Make
love's
us love's
healing
healing
presence
presence
of
of
God's
God's
great
great plan
fulfilled.
fulfilled.
Show
Show
all
all thy
thy
face,
blood
Lord,
forth
for
thy
thy
grace,
grace,
until
until
our
all
storms
storms
are
are
still.
still.
O Mary,
Mary,
let
Jesus,
Joseph
Joseph too,
release
release
love's
love's new
birth.
birth.
Bring
Bring
forth the
forth thy
holy
holy
family
family
to
to
every
every home
home.
on earth.
Establish
Establish
there
there the
the
glory
of
of
God's
God's
great
great threshing
threefold flame.
floor.
Make
Make
all
all
desire the
desire the
sacred
sacred
fire.
fire.
Use
Use
strongly
strongly
in
in
God's
God's
name.
name.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you. Let's just go right back into our hearts, feeling the vibration of that song, just reverberating through this temple and through our bodies. For we are interdimensional. There's really no here and there, but we are there. We are here, everywhere present. And just allow yourself to feel into your heart space. If there's anything in the world that you could choose right now to feel, what would it be? I want you to see it blazing in the candle within your heart. Whatever that feeling is that you would like to feel right now. And now we're going to just ask Mother Mary to do her thing of radiating her beautiful consciousness right on this candle and see it starting to radiate into a huge bonfire. Just allow yourself to experience the amplification of her radiation. Thank you, beloved Mother Mary. Oh, I just ask that you continue to radiate throughout this entire circle today. Thank you for your lessons. Thank you for presenting them to us in such a loving way and yet a very firm way, calling us to truth, calling us to a deeper practice, calling us to absolutely be more vigilant and loving us all the way through the instruction. So very grateful. I bless our time together. I'm calling it extraordinary, filled with laughter and joy and song and delicious aha moments and healing. We bless our members that are not with us today, that they may experience a deep healing wherever they are. And I am so very grateful. It is done, it is good, and so it is. In God's most holy name, I am.
It was fun to sing. I felt like it sounded like an old church song, you know?
Yeah. Yes, I think so too. And I was curious at my own reaction to some of the words in these songs, like magnify the Lord. Every time I hear the word Lord, I still don't know quite how to sit with it in my heart. I think I have some resistance to of course, my childhood training. But what do you think of when you say Lord? What comes to you? Oh, magnify the Lord.
Love for God. I'm reading a book by Greg Braden called The Wisdom Codes. And he goes through the Bible and says that there are several different names they use for God. It's like the Almighty, Adonai. And he said there's like 6,000 different references, and Lord was one of them. So I'll have to look up and see what he said about it. But they were all interchangeable. And his research was saying that these words activated something in us. There's
Right.
power in words and feelings, and something like the Lord's Prayer or the Gayatri Mantra, or he goes through different religions that they've been saying these over and over again. And he had translations from Aramaic that was very different than what I've heard. But anyway, the whole thing of Lord, it's like a code of awakening when we say it. So anyway.
Yes, and I know, yeah, in Jesus's in here in these writings, because the whole third part is Jesus, and we did a whole study with the practitioners a couple years ago, which is fabulous from this book. So I encourage you to keep reading this book if you want to. But when he said Lord, he was referring to his sponsor, Maitreya. And, I think it just comes so much with our training of what it is. And I love the study that I'm doing too with the DNA, because there are Hebrew names for every layer of our DNA. And they're very powerful. Adonai is in one of them. There's one who's the divine feminine wisdom. And it was our very first, Linda, you weren't at our last retreat, but we went to Lemuria. And there we have Lemurian layers in our DNA. And one of them is the divine feminine wisdom. And her name is Eliliu. Eliliu was the first beautiful Palladian star mother that brought us our divinity. And right after that, the next layer is El Shaddai, which is another name. I know that you've probably heard El Shaddai, Yahweh, these names for God. Yeah. So how are you doing? Let's share. How's it going? Last week we were to love someone unlovable. How did that go for you? Did you have any opportunities?
Well, I do. And it just occurred to me now that, I have started this new job. And I've been doing it for many years, but never thought at this point in life I'd be returning to the workforce. But I am a mental health counselor for the Marines.
Oh,
And
how wonderful that you are there. That's so
and
awesome.
it's quite a challenge. But the story I have to say is actually with a colleague who has, and I think it's because she's 30 years younger than I am, and maybe is feeling a little intimidated, but she has locked me out of the office, will not allow me in the office. And so I have had to approach this in a very, speaking of listening grace, I have had to look at her with listening grace. And she has not been very lovable. She is very intimidated by me, very threatening, I think, because I've been doing this for many, many years, and she's very new to this line of work. So initially, my ego was quite attacked by her aggressive behavior. And I have had to really approach it in a loving way and to see her in loving grace and to know that um, uh, she obviously is either threatened by me or she is feeling as though I'm trying to come into her territory. And I have really, this whole teaching of Mother Mary has had me become very loving and humble in this situation.
Oh, beautiful.
I have really found it very helpful in a situation that I never thought I would be faced to deal with.
Mhm.
So it's loving grace is really what it's been.
Thank you for sharing that. It's beautiful. I don't think there's any accidents about anything that happens to us anymore. I think that everything is so brought to us by our beloved I am presence, to go through that which we need to know now to ascend. So
Mhm.
it's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I've been having some experiences with my husband who has, since COVID happened, he's gotten like to be the most talkative person that I've ever met. And he talks a lot. And I'm just learning to say, you need a break. It's funny. It's funny. What about you, Mary?
Well, I have my middle son Robert is has decided to be homeless, and I've been praying for him on the rosary, and so I try to use that method of sending the love and all that, to hoping that he would show up one of these days to see that he's doing okay. But I haven't heard anything yet. But it was quite interesting because I wanted, it was hard because I'm still angry at him doing what he's doing. So I had to really, um, I don't know what the word is called, but I just had to calm down and just say, okay, fine. You love him. You have to send the love. You have to be divine, and so on and so forth. And so I'm just waiting to see if it works. Hopefully.
I'm going to challenge you to know that it does work.
Okay, good.
It absolutely works every time that you can put any prayer, any type of holding that immaculate concept. What a gift it is for a mother to do that for a son.
Yeah, really.
Mhm.
We're the most powerful people in their lives. I believe that, and it's powerful. How about you, Lita? You want to share anything?
I did this last week, but there's always opportunities every week to love someone that may be challenging us. But I've been doing more massage and energy healing at home. So people are coming to my house, and I have a healing room, and I have the picture of Mother Mary that we got as practitioners. And I'm finding myself looking at this picture while I'm working on someone to be that
Mm,
place of listening grace for what they need.
Mhm.
And a lot of it is to help connect them to listening grace.
Mhm.
So it's a beautiful, like really feeling Mother Mary and her healing and that radiation present as I'm working on people and getting my own agenda out of the way and asking her, asking my team, what does this person need? And to let it move through me and around them. So it's been very beautiful.
That's
A
powerful.
that's
challenging
wonderful.
person has been my mother. And so I've been praying for years just to have grace to not be activated. And it's been different, more peaceful, because I'm not imposing an agenda about anything. I'm just picking her up, taking her to the beach, getting her something to drink, and just if she wants to talk, great. If she doesn't, we're in a beautiful place. So it's allowing grace to bring us together in a different way. So that's been very beautiful. So that's my share.
Very
Very
beautiful.
nice,
That's
very
beautiful.
nice.
I've been noticing too that that listening grace allows the space. I think the course in not the Course in Miracles, but the Sophia Code says faith is a seed for miracles, and grace is the space that allows them to happen. And it really feels that way to me, that it's just spaciousness that grace creates. It allows us to really open up the space without trying to get our little mind opinions and judgments in there. I had to set a boundary with my son, and it was so easy and simple. And the fallout from it, I didn't even have to deal with it because my husband happened to be in that place where they had a conversation. And I was like, wow, that's really awesome. Like, I didn't have to get in there and fix all the little details at all. I just was able to just set the boundary and kind of leave the room, and it was done. And I really am working on holding the immaculate concept for him always. He's just like on the edge of being homeless, but he's not. He's just on the edge. And I think too that the work that I've had to do around him is my own brokenheartedness. Because I want so much more for him. I see so much more for him, but that my mother, earth mother potential kicking in rather than the immaculate concept. It's very interesting to ask that question,
Mm,
Mm.
because it
Mhm.
I
helps me
didn't
to
think
let
about
go
that. Yeah,
of like what I think he should be doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a problem I have too with my Robert. He's almost 55. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea to do that, to stop having all the anticipation. That's
Well,
very
Mother
good.
Mary, in this reading that we're doing this week, she says that we'll get to the place where everyone will be the same. I don't know if you remember reading that, but like everyone will be that same love of your life.
Right, right. I
Everybody,
do remember. I
there's
do
no one
remember.
left out.
Mhm. Okay.
No one left out at all. Yes. Well, I wanted to read something together, and please feel free to keep sharing. Do you all have the hard copy?
I do.
I do. Uh-huh.
Um, this reading is just so rich with instruction. I want to read page 245, right in the center of the page.
Yep, that one's marked.
And as you're finding that, I'm curious, are you all are you writing petitions this year to the Karmic Board?
Mhm.
Yeah?
I am. I've started. This is a new adventure for me. It's my first year with the academy, and uh, I have started writing it. I guess my question is once you complete it, then like I know it's due on the 15th, right? Then what is the next step?
All the steps are written down in that document that's online, but you are going to turn it over on the 15th and then just kind of hold space for it until the 1st of July. You might be called into a meeting. You might, feel like something's happened when you're sleeping.
Mhm.
I always ask to remember, and I usually don't, but I know that something has happened. You kind of wake up with that feeling like, oh, something really cool happened while I was sleeping. But you can be available for meetings. And then on the 1st of July, you're going to actually have a little ceremony and burn it. Burn your petition. I always make a copy of it. So, I
And who
can,
did we share it with someone on the 15th, or is it just a
yeah.
personal?
Have you read the instructions? Because it's really clear in there, I think.
Okay, maybe
The,
I need to.
the dates are there. And if, let me double check to make sure you're on that course. Okay.
Okay, maybe I'm not
Maybe you're not,
linking
because
linking up.
it'll tell you exactly what happens even in that span from the 15th to the 1st. There are meetings, and then there are meetings with the Karmic Board, and then there's individual meetings, and there's some pulling together of different, merging requests from different factors.
Oh, okay. I don't believe I have that. I
Yeah.
don't think I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, let me double check that, but it would be under your courses when you sign in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's read this together. Anybody feel like reading? It's right in the middle of the page now, beloved ones, and we're going to read all the way to the end of page 246.
Oops. What was that?
That was one of my crystals just fell down. They're so tolerant and loving. They know I do that a lot. Anybody want to read?
Oh, I'll read.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Now, beloved ones, we come to a point where we desire some members of the race to understand just the simple principle that energy does not act except under the direction of some self-conscious intelligence. If you are going to let the bodies which were fashioned for you by the great builders to form direct your life, you will have to handle the return of the indiscriminate qualification of the energies which the etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies have capitulated forth into the universe. Should I go on?
Yes, please. We're going to read it all the way till the next page, the bottom of the next page.
Instead of this, you should give the dignity, authority, and power of directing that energy back into the glorious threefold flame of God within you, within your heart. Your vehicles were fashioned, blessed hearts of light, as instruments through which you might create as the Godhead himself creates, through which you might pour forth into the mental, emotional, etheric, and physical realms the perfection of your own I am presence. These bodies were not created to be independent, indulgent, rebellious, glutinous vehicles which steal the energy of the Godhead and send it forth to distress life. When you find the center within your heart, when you enter deep within that immortal flame, and you can accept the mastery which is there, then in dignity and firmness, you can put your house in order. You know you are afraid of your own bodies. You are afraid of what you will do under stress, strain, of how your thoughts and feelings will act, and of how the etheric memories will surge forth. Therefore, you are not fully master in your own home. And it's interesting, I underline this next part. Can you not give to this threefold flame, this I am presence within you, the confidence to control the servants of your household? Can you not release yourself from the tensions which you are so evident and allow the Lord of life, the very God of heaven, to assume the mastery of your vehicles, holding your mind up to your own I am presence? Use it to receive its divine ideas. Use your emotions, body to radiate forth whatever constructive quality is required in your homes at even given moment, in your group activities, in your nation, or in the world. And I underlined that last part.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
must have
powerful.
really meant a lot because I underlined it.
It's very powerful. Let's read one more paragraph.
The emotional body was created primarily in a very pliable and elastic form. All of the world, beloved ones, is your schoolroom. There will not be a day pass in which you will not meet energy from the consciousness of individuals who have no idea of mastery and control, which will either change your energy into a like turmoil, or which you will sublimate, and transmute, not by will, but by love.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful, Linda. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. Um, I recently got into the over 65 medical world, right? And I'm always amazed at how things just like kick in, like they just assume that I can't see myself to the bathroom anymore, or I mean, the questions that I'm asked before I even go to an appointment are just like, wow, the belief system about our bodies and aging is just really whacked.
Mhm.
Um, and I thought this piece is so powerful, that most of us are afraid of our own bodies. I
Mhm.
mean, Lita, you're in the healing arts. You probably have seen this a lot. People go into fear like immediately when there's something going on with their bodies, right?
We're so disconnected. The body's giving them so many signals and they're not listening,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, absolutely. And the power for the body to heal itself, the cells of your body are listening to you. So every time you use those powerful words, I am, I am sick, I am tired, I am whatever, you're using the I am in the opposite direction. We're learning a lot about that in the I am discourses with beloved Saint Germain. But I've been thinking about this a lot, having a case of hives, and just like, wow, okay, what am I telling? And so now I'm telling, anytime a hive appears, I say, thank you, welcome. What do you want to tell me?
Mm.
What's the message? What do you have to tell me? I'm really serious. I really want to know. What is it that I need to see? What do you need that I need to give to you? Or what are you holding? Maybe you're holding an old worn out belief or a memory that's wanting to be released. So it's powerful to do that.
Mm.
So did anything hit you as you were reading this?
The next page, how she talks about when you are working with people who are in fear or distress or anger, to first draw from the causal body God qualified energies to fill the room before you do whatever service you're doing. And it just reminds me of what we do, like with the Violet Flame, what we do with classes. We're anchored in prayer and anchored in connection, and it makes such a difference. We're the vehicle that helps this I mean, I love the word she uses all the time about radiation, the radiation of the presence, so the radiation of the quality. And if we're working with a group of people, are we going to be swept up by all of their emotions and feelings, or are we being a conductor of energy? So that hit me. And then at the bottom of the page, she talks about if you're not prepared and at peace, you're cut off from the brotherhood as a channel for energy. So it's like you want to be available all the time. So that really
Yeah, that's to
me.
me listening grace. That's to me a definition of listening grace, to be available. Yeah, and I remember Reverend Michael saying this one Sunday, and it stuck with me that when you're going into a room, you decide what quality you're bringing into that room. We are conduits of energy. What we carry is our choice. What are you going to take into this room with you? What are you going to take into? Are you going to take in your own insecurities, or are you going to stand in a place of like taking one of the rays? Like, what would it be like if you walked into a room and just decided that you're going to be the ray for the day? Today would be that place of unconditional love. And that everyone who comes into your home or has anything to do with you is going to be filled with unconditional love. It's really powerful.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I love the steps. She gave us steps for healing. Let's see if any of us can remember them without going through the book. To me, if I'm remembering right, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the first thing to do is bring from the causal body set up the space, and then go. Let's see where it is. I want to make sure I go to the right place, so I'm just not talking out of the top of my head. She goes through the steps of healing. The first thing is to protect yourself. Why do we protect ourselves?
What page is that on?
That was a biggie for me because, I tend to think of reaching out and being a caregiver, caretaker, and then get exhausted and forget to take care of myself. It's interesting how that is sort of a secondary thought.
Oh, I so can relate to you with that one. Yeah.
On the page yet?
I am looking for the page.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow.
Are you talking about setting up group activities? Is that what you're talking about?
Actually, no, there's an instruction in here on how to heal. I think we were really there almost, becoming a conductor of divine qualities. All right, Mother Mary, we need your help here just to help us find this. I have it written in my notes.
Oh, it's protect yourself first is on 270.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, there you have it. It's more like in paragraphs. So, before we go into that, I think we're going to do some of this in our closing meditation. But if you would take a minute to think about what has been that quality that you've been continually giving out throughout your life, what is that thing that Mother Mary says here that she's been healing for centuries. She's been a healer, right?
Mhm.
What is that thing? It's so powerful to think about that. Okay, so protect yourself first, and then remove the cause and cause of the distress at the inner levels.
Yeah, right.
Because they're behind every condition. Let's remember this. Everything that appears in the body has a cause underneath it. It's not just something that shows up in the body. It shows up in the body the very last step. It's already been in the emotional body. It's already been created there. So a true healing will always go and be plucked out by the roots. And she says here very clearly, the 271, this last paragraph, when that is plucked out by the roots by any of the divine beings who offer to do so, myself, the goddess of light, Australia, Kuan Yin, any number of us, when that is removed, then you have a permanently healed patient. I love this because it's really showing us how to work with the company of heaven, of really asking them to pluck out at the core, at the root. And I read something in here I had never seen before. But after that, accept the healing, that it's a reality, and then stand in the truth and ask the beloved I am presence of that person or yourself to remove the capacity to create a new cause and core. And when somebody is healed of something, how many times does it come back? So that's what she's talking about. That's the second paragraph on 272. Those of you who are interested in healing will know very often the individuals you heal or whom God heals through you will recreate those conditions unless you are alert and called to the I am presence of that one. I never caught that before. You call to the I am presence of that one to remove the capacity to create a new core or cause or core. I have practiced this for almost 2,000 years. In other words, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that we're going to be moving into empowered prayer next, our next course. for year one students or anybody who wants to take it. And that's a really powerful way to start speaking the word for healing for others or for yourself. But I think you could do it just by going through these steps that she's given here. Really simple steps.
Yeah, I thought they
Yeah.
were all very good. Very good.
When I was reading this book again, it's really her, I was struck at how often she says, call on me to help you. Call on me. I've been doing this for so long and I'm here, and
Yeah.
call on me. Yeah.
And I love that
It got
image.
through.
That image of, if we can just hold the concept, the thought, we can just hold it, then her radiation takes it from just a candle to a bonfire. That's exactly what happens to prayer, I think. That's the difference between affirmative prayer and empowered prayer. Affirmative
Mhm.
prayer is used a lot in science of mind circles. And I was taught affirmative prayer, but to me, the difference between affirmative and empowered prayer is asking for this radiation of the ascended master to just like turbocharge what we are speaking. That's why it's so powerful. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, beloveds. Are you ready to have a closing meditation? Is there anything else you want to share?
Well, I actually loved what she wrote on page 274, and it's underlined in large print on 274, where it says, all of this can be sustained for you, except that accept that.
Yes.
After the meeting, you no longer need to return to the conditions of the distress and limitation which have been your past and recent experience. But from now on, if you will accept it as possible for you, you can remain in the state of grace, harmony, healing, and peaceful.
Yes.
That you no longer have to return to that condition. I just found that really very freeing.
Yes.
I love that.
I have on the next paragraph too. I have the word reach next to it, which is, this is the perfection of the sphere in which we have become fit to dwell, in which we are endeavoring to raise you when we have an opportunity to come close to you, reaching into your worlds through radiation, our spoken word, and your attention upon us, which attention is the open door into your world. So as we focus, it opens the door. We place our attention. So powerful. Thank you, Linda. Yeah. I always say this, if I'm in a session with somebody, or I really know this now, that when we do any work, it really can be forever work. We don't have to go back and do it over and over again.
Over
And
again.
that's what this means to me. All of this can be sustained for you. Accept
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
I am so curious, Linda, how you reading all this material is going to affect your job. I'm just curious.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm
Well,
sure more will be revealed.
it is interesting because you see such suffering, and you see people who are just so into a different paradigm than you are in. Their paradigm really is that of power and force and control. And but if you approach it with listening grace, all of a sudden they're able to let go of that persona that they have in the military, and they're able to really talk about their human concerns, what they're really, their human nature. And I just can't tell you how that whole thought of listening grace, not only working with this colleague who I've had challenges with, who's 34 years younger than I am, but in working with these Marines who have a certain persona. And it has helped me really immensely.
Beautiful.
That's good.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's go into meditation. I'm also going to hold one of our members in prayer. Edwene, um, she listens to the replay, so we don't see her very often, but Edwene is part of this beautiful course, and she's in a lot of pain with a sciatica thing. So,
Oh,
in fact, I might just have you, beloved Lita, just hold us in prayer, hold her in prayer before we go into meditation. Would you mind doing that?
You want me to do a prayer?
Yeah, would you do a prayer for Edwene?
Sure.
She is
Okay.
in so much pain with her sciatica that she cannot even get up out of bed. So
oh,
let's speak a word for her.
Okay. I'm so grateful to close my eyes and to invite everyone on this call to close their eyes, to focus their awareness on the threefold flame of their heart, and to connect heart to heart to heart to heart, and to the heart of beloved Edwene. I am one with God. I am one with my beloved I am presence. And as I know this for myself, I know this for Edwene. I know this for Mary, for Jennifer, for Linda. Ah, beloved I am. You are the power, the light, the love, the joy, the healing presence that moves through my very being, that moves through Edwene's very being. And I call and command right here a relief from the sciatica pain, the answer to her prayer, to be able to sit, to be able to stand, to be able to move, to be able to do the simple activities of life. So I call on our beloved Mother Mary, beloved Archangel Raphael, and all the beautiful angels on the green flame of healing to surround and infuse Edwene's body, to go directly into that sciatica nerve and anything that's causing pressure or constriction, to allow it to release and to move. Calling on her body elemental to support her, her beautiful elemental beings, her beautiful dragons and unicorns. Oh, how grateful I am for the healing energy that has been surrounding Edwene the moment she reached out for prayer. There is beautiful rainbow light swirling into and around her. And it is causing a release right now of the sciatica nerve and any uncomfortableness. I call and command Edwene to take beautiful deep breaths throughout the day that keeps the sciatica nerve flowing and not impinging. I call for this breath to radiate throughout her body with this healing energy that brings life force to all parts of her body, that allows the intelligence that's in her body with her body elemental to restore the wholeness that she is, to restore the health that she is, to restore the enthusiasm and vitality for life. I'm so grateful to speak these words of truth, to know they are unfolding beautifully, that Edwene is magnetizing to her exactly what she needs, and we hold this to be true. With a full heart, I release my words to the law that does the work. It is done, it is perfect, it is complete, and together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Oh, thank you, beloved, and just taking the reverence and the power of this prayer right into our heart. Feeling into your heart. Your heart is a magnet. And it sustains life in your physical body. Let's take a moment to love your heart, to anchor into it even more. And feel into that beautiful silver cord coming right down from your mighty I Am presence. And above your mighty I Am presence is the sun behind the sun, the great central sun. the home of creator or creatrix, and see this beautiful flow of electronic energy, the sacred fire, filling up your body, but especially your heart, your physical heart. The river of living, breathing force and intelligence. Just appreciate this beautiful electronic energy that is given to you every day. And feel it building in momentum, just standing at the ready, waiting for your command. This life flows through you, and it is yours to command. What are you going to fill up your sphere, your atmosphere, your world with? And as we are doing the healing for Edwene, I feel like we all need to just allow that beautiful ray of Mother Mary's ray, Archangel Raphael's ray of emerald green, to qualify that portion that has been given to you with emerald green. Allow yourself to accept that you are a powerful creator. And let's take this collective, beautiful substance from our hearts and flow it to Edwene and flow it to everyone that needs a prayer of healing that Lita just spoke out loud. Let us send it to anyone that we know. Let us send it to our own bodies and ask Mother Mary to take this and amplify it with her radiation. And now let's see this traveling around the globe. India has been on my heart. Let's see this beautiful healing light penetrating through everyone in any of the corners of this earth, in South America, in Africa, in the third world countries that are suffering with COVID and new strands of COVID. Let's flood the earth with the healing ray, the ray of truth. And we are in command of our bodies. Our bodies are here to serve us. And let's change this quality now within our hearts to the violet flame, a beautiful freedom flame of mercy and compassion. And let's see it now flooding around the earth now, filling every little nook and cranny of life with freedom, with forgiveness, with solutions, with ease of all relationships coming into harmony, transmuting all hatred, all greed, all power over, all conflict into solution and harmony. And now let's just absolutely qualify this electronic energy within our hearts into love, unconditional love. Oh my God, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Let's just see it wrapping its arms, the beautiful cradle of Mama God's arms, just holding the earth, holding every living being, every sentient being on the planet in unconditional love and harmony. And let's allow it to hold ourselves in that too. And we accept, Mother Mary, that this has been done as a permanent, sustained record now. We accept it. We accept that every bit of spiritual work that we do in any form that we do it is sustained. It is forever work. Oh, so I'm so very grateful to come back into this space and time, receiving this blessing as well as giving it. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. And so I bless us on our way, knowing that everything that we need is always met. Full on, that nothing is withheld from us in the entire universe ever. And so in deep gratitude and full faith, I close this circle as I release this prayer, knowing that it has absolutely been released into the law of Mother, Father, God to do the work as we have chosen, as we have qualified the energy. We have done our job so beautifully. It is done. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Thank you, beloveds.
Thank you,
Beautiful
Jennifer.
prayer.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you, Leah, for that
Beautiful.
prayer. I'll tell Edwina that she needs to make sure she listens to the replay because there's a prayer for her on here.
Thank you, thank you.
Next
thank you.
week is our final circle. So I'll see.
Yes.
Yes.
Heart, amazing.
Amazing.
I know.
It's been wonderful. Been
You know
wonderful.
what, Linda, I still feel this way. And this has to be like going on 8 years of teaching this course. So I still feel
That's
this way.
wonderful.
And
That's
I
wonderful.
keep, it keeps renewing itself in me too. All
Yes.
right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Okay,
Take
I'll
care.
see you around
bye.
campus.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye for now.